Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie and I am back doing the Homeschool Show and Tell hosted by Abby from Rooted and Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way. And I love, love, love doing this series. I love watching the different topics each month that come out, talking just about how different and unique each homeschool is. And I just love, love, love to see how, and I love getting ideas. Sometimes if something's not working in your homeschool, it's awesome to see what other people are doing, just to see if there's something that maybe you can take bits and pieces of and apply it to your homeschool for your kids. It's awesome. I hope you will click the link down below to this month's playlist, and this month's playlist is about getting to know us, and it's with a homeschool this or that. So I'm going to go through the list and tell you what my preferences are, and if there's anything that makes you laugh or you think, oh no Jamie, what are you talking about, feel free to leave that in a comment down below. So the first one, highly controversial. It's coffee or tea, and I am a tea drinker. Abby mentioned it in her video and I laughed because I love the smell of coffee, cannot stand the taste of it, and so I've never been a coffee drinker ever. So I think that probably helps. You can't get into the habit if you don't like the taste of it at all. Even my husband's ice cap, I'm like, oh, and then it takes forever to get that taste out of my mouth. So I am a rooibos drinker. So if you've never tried that, I'm not a green tea drinker. It tastes like spinach water most of the time. And black tea doesn't sit well with my stomach, so I drink rooibos tea. It's a South African red tea, and it has lots of antioxidants and lots of awesome stuff. So that's my preference. Early bird or night owl? I have always been a night owl. And my son, who is autistic, he's 14 years old, and we homeschool him as well as our two typically developing daughters. He has made it significantly worse just because with autism, there's a lot of sleep issues that come with it. And so, yeah, I don't think I will ever become an early bird. Paper planning or digital planning? I am all about the paper. It could be my age. I grew up in the age where computers became a thing, or a more regular thing anyway. And I struggle with it, and it's not my forte, but I am an artist. I love drawing and painting, and so paper planning is the way to go for me. Plan ahead or plan from behind? So I'm going to say I probably am a little bit of both, actually. I kind of plan an overarching, this is what our year is going to look like, and then I will plot in what we actually accomplished on another sheet of paper so that I can adjust everything. So that's usually how I do it. One homeschool method or eclectic? I would say that we are eclectic. I love a lot of the Charlotte Mason methods, but I don't use a lot of their curriculum. I use their habit training in particular, but I love the short lessons. I love those types of curriculums that lean that way. But I'm definitely, I think, eclectic because we do IEW, for instance. So I think eclectic is probably the best way, but leaning towards Charlotte Mason. Homeschool hoarder or minimalist? Again, I would say a little bit of both. We don't actually have a lot of space in our homeschool. Our homeschool room is our dining room and our small group room, and it has multiple uses, including my art studio stuff is in this room. So unfortunately, our library doesn't allow us consistently to get books in time, in a reasonable amount of time. Like I got a Christmas book that I had ordered in February, and I was like, well, that's not going to work for me. So I've had to purchase a lot of books and then try and find spaces for them. So I don't know if a hoarder is the right way of putting it, but I think I have a little bit of both. Crayons or markers? I think right now in this season, my kids are all older. My youngest just turned 11 and my eldest is 14. I think we're definitely in the marker phase because they do know not to mark up on walls, which was a huge problem with my youngest. Whiteboard or chalkboard? Well, here I use both. I have a little one for our Fix-It grammar that we do, and then for our habit training, I have a whiteboard on our freezer. So I think when the chalkboard one, though, I use the chalk markers, not the chalky, I don't know, all the dust. Yeah, that's not a go for me, but definitely do both. So games or puzzles? I would say we are definitely a puzzle family. I pull them out more recently just because Darian would like to throw things up in the air and lose all the pieces, but we're at the stage where we're starting to do more puzzles, and he is doing puzzles, which is very exciting. Screens or no screens? We are a screen family, especially for my son Darian. I have tried multiple times to kind of pull back on the screens and then found that there were other complications that went with that. He just needs to keep busy while I'm doing stuff with the girls. So he has a couple of different screens that we utilize. And then my girls and my husband, that's like one of their favorite things to do is watch movies together. So we are definitely a screen family. Pajamas all day or get dressed? Again, this is under, the proviso of our family with special needs. We do, on rare occasions, stay in our pajamas, usually on the weekends, not during the school day, just because I'm trying to get my son in the habit. He prefers the same set of pajamas all day long. And mommy is always trying to stretch and grow him. So I do encourage us to get dressed in the morning. Read aloud or independent reading? I would say both. I have huge love of our read aloud time, but I also assign books for my kids for each unit that we do, and so they do independent reading as well. Classic or modern literature? I would say I'm more classic leaning. Although I would say that there's a lot that I'm like, oh, I just find some of it really wordy, which is funny because they got paid by the word. So in certain time periods, they got paid by the word. So I think, I prefer doing stuff that has lasted a long time, but we do some modern stuff too. So I think I'm just like most of these, I'm like, both. Science or history? I would definitely say that I am more leaning towards the history side. I love learning about history. I love incorporating our family history, genealogy and stuff into the mix. Just for context of history, I just love everything to do with history. Art or music? Again, I'm going to say both, but definitely I lean more to the art side of things. Nature study or poetry tea time? This one I would actually say neither. Not because I wouldn't love to do nature study. My girls are deathly afraid of wasps and bees. They got stung. They got stung many years ago, but anything that buzzes by them, and they run, and so that makes nature study very difficult. Plus, we live in Alberta, Canada, and so for a large part of the year, it's winter time, and so And we're still working on the nature study. Poetry tea time, just because we have so many other things, I haven't been able to incorporate poetry tea time. And just trying to find a book that I like for poetry and stuff like that hasn't been the easiest. So, lunch with your kids or lunch alone? I would say I probably eat lunch alone most times, mainly because we're doing lunch while we're doing school. So, usually once they're all done their stuff, then I'll grab a snack or something like that. Uh, School at the table or school all over the house? I would say largely we do school at our dining room table, but we do school in other areas of the house as well. But mainly we do it at the table here. Take summers off or year-round homeschool. I would say we do take the summertime off, mainly because my girls, most of their friends go to the brick and mortar school, and so I want to be mindful of a good block of time where they can get together with their friends over the summer. So that's why we do that. Mummify a chicken or dissect a frog, and I am totally with Abby on this one. Neither. I'm really bad about the science experiments. I'm trying to get better. I got some kiwi crates, and I'm trying to institute that Anara and I will do some one-on-one time. She's doing a chemistry unit, and so I'm going to try and do some experiments with her there. That's kind of one of my goals for this year, is to get better at the science, but it's just not something that I like really enjoy or feel motivated, and I don't like the messes. And my daughter is very much like, measurements, and with chemistry, I'm like, it's kind of important. So we'll see how it goes, but that's what I usually do. So that was the last one. I hope you enjoyed my silly answers with this or that. If you are interested in getting to know a lot of the other mamas in this playlist, go down to the link below. It is so much fun to see how other people do the same thing, just in their own unique way. And I love that about homeschooling, that we can tailor make our children's education based on our children's needs. So thank you again to Abby from Rooted and Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way for putting this playlist together and this homeschool show and tell thing. It's so much fun. I love doing it. Thank you again. We'll see you next time. Bye.